Set number 1 it is on Ensk, and taking a look at the tank lineup, we've got lots of heavies as expected, but we do have one artillery piece as well.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting because, as an urban map, artillery don't have many chances to have clear shots on their enemies.
Well, absolutely, this is not a conventional setup, to say the least, and yes, the artillery piece, of course, belonging to a player Makis, as a matter of fact, from MUPPETS.
Yep, and two tanks have spotted each other. They are just the scouts, so I don't think there's any action really happening just yet. I think they're just trying to look for any early pushes or any cheese strats that might come out.
Right, and just to clarify things, of course, so RTA-E starting on the southern part of the map, so they're starting at the bottom, while MUPPETS are actually starting up north.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty standard opening, it looks like. Looks like this team is just kind of camping their base. They don't want to have any early pushes on. They want to make sure that their base is secure. They don't want to risk anything too early on.
Yes, indeed, as you can tell, and right now we do have a pretty standard approach from MUPPETS, as a matter of fact, and both RTA-E, just as can be expected on Ensk. Yes, definitely just not charging.
Yeah, definitely.
On the other side, and
it looks like they're just kind of trying to scout around, trying to find out where the enemy is, trying to find out what their strategy is going to be in this particular game. Yeah, pretty sneaky setup by this T1 right here. He's in between the train tracks, so it's going to be a little bit hard to spot.
Well, definitely, it's just providing tons of cover, but I'm actually sort of asking myself, what is the purpose for a T1 to be stuck in between two trains, if you ask me? Shouldn't you be scouting out there?
Yeah. I think he's just trying to, put himself in a situation to see if the enemy will push down that railway. If the enemy, or if the MUPPETS do decide to push down, then, RTA will know right away that, they're pushing down this railway and we got to defend that.
Yes, and right now we can see Black Label's vantage point from the RTA side.
Yep. So not too much action just yet.
The T1's still stuck in between those two trains. Well, then again, given the fact that, the opposing side does have artillery, perhaps he doesn't really want to venture outside too much.
Yeah. Definitely just a little bit more scouting out and just trying to again figure out what your enemy is doing. Knowledge is key in this game. If you can't see your enemy, you won't be able to kill them. So these scouts, really important. They gotta try and spot their enemy, but at the same time, they don't want to put themselves in a position where they're vulnerable.
Well, absolutely. You just don't. There's not much point in going out in the open if you're just going to get blown to smithereens. So
yeah, definitely.
Interestingly enough, Black Label, who came out, who actually chose an AMX 13, as a matter of fact. So quite an unconventional tank pick, if I may say so, especially for this map.
Yeah, definitely.
I was actually expecting at least 5 heavy tanks on the RTA side, but funnily enough, just going up with that AMX 13. So opting for definitely more speed, more mobility.
Definitely.
Well, he's definitely visiting town.
Yeah, definitely. Weaving in between those streets and definitely trying to see exactly where the enemy is. Neither of these teams have spotted each other except the two scouts, of course.
Yes, indeed. Just trying to assess on the city part, that was player Black Label that was trying to figure out where the heavies, the heavy tanks would be coming from, and right now he just can't seem to put his finger on it yet. You can see him on the map just here, just coasting along. Right now he's coming back to his starting point. But just going back and forth from that from those rail tracks to the city on the western part of the map.
Yeah, and this is actually, a really common strategy. Both these teams know how to play this map. They know that, although, it may be a little bit boring to watch, but, you know, they know that defense is key in this game. You have to have control of the city.
Well, absolutely. Right now, if you're taking a look at well, the RTA-E setup, well, just it's extremely conventional. It's totally typical of what you can see online on the time when playing on a map like Ensk. You've got the 4 heavy tanks that have fortified their position right next to their starting point on the edge of the city, on the pretty much southern part of the map, slightly on the left, of course, on the western side. And then you've got their 3 mobile tanks, the scouts, pretty much, the 2 light tanks, and that AMX just roaming around, one on the railroad up north.
Still there.
Yeah, still there on the railroad up north, and not moving around in between those 2 massive wagons. And on the left side, on the western side, southwestern side, actually, just another scout just planted out there, pretty much. Yes, indeed, you don't want to be flanked when you're starting in this position. So once again, RTA-E with a very conventional approach to this map, and the kind of a one free electron type of player that would be, of course, Black Label with his AMX tank. And now taking a look at the MUPPETS vantage point, and same strategy.
Yeah, they're just kind of camping their base. Similar, I mean, this is pretty much the exact same strategy we saw yesterday.
Well, yeah, and then again on Ensk, that's what you can that's what you can expect. Nobody wants to make a push, especially through those narrow streets in the city part, in those urban parts that provide both cover, but at the same time they can be a really nasty death trap, pretty much. You know, lots of bottlenecks out there, so plenty of places where you can set up ambushes. So nobody wants to do that either.
Yeah, and actually, MUPPETS opting for 4 IS-3s, which is actually a Soviet Tier 8 heavy tank. So pretty, you know, they really like this tank, and you know they're really relying on the IS-3s, a little bit more agile, and a little bit more agile movement.
Yes, the IS-3 definitely one of the users' favorites out there. Well, when it comes to Tier 8, of course. And right now, MUPPETS, actually, tanks have been spotted right now as we speak.
Yeah, and actually, it looks like a push coming out from the MUPPETS side.
Well, actually, RTA-E...
and actually, 2 tanks were taken out.
RTA-E that decided to just push forward, pretty much. So while we're taking a look at the MUPPETS vantage point, the RTA-E team that definitely, well, I guess they were sick of waiting, eh?
Yeah.
So they made their push through the city, and yes, indeed, they took out the 2 Tier 1 tanks, like of the...
Yeah, and these 2 teams, they know where they each are now, and actually the MUPPETS are a little bit surrounded right now. They're kind of stuck in that little
they're totally surrounded, and the fact is they've lost both of their scouts. So right now the actually on the MUPPETS side, I think it's pretty cheeky to do as well, but they definitely managed to sort of bottle their opponents just like that as well. It's pretty well done.
Yeah, so slowly but surely we can try to expect the RTA team to. I mean, the RTA team wants to push, but at the same time they did lose 2 tanks already, so they're in a slight disadvantage right now. But at the same time, they know that they have to make a move if they want to pull off this victory. So a little bit of moving around now.
Well, RTA that actually lost 1 scout right now to the enemy artillery.
Yep, and a little bit of movement coming out now. 2v2 right here in the northern corner. We have a big battle going on right now.
Well, that's actually between 2 IS-3s at the moment, but oh yeah, definitely just oh, he's been completely surrounded on that
looks like this IS-3 might go down right here.
That was extremely well done. It's just completely sandwiching their opponents right here. There's no way out of this.
Yep, and
look at that, just yes, getting mangled out there.
Yep,
once again losing another heavy tank. RTA-E that's really doing a great job here, just surrounding their opponents.
MUPPETS getting demolished.
They definitely are only 1 heavy tank left, and once again RTA-E definitely making that nice push throughout the city, actually, which is very hard to do, but I suppose yes.